Hey everyone, it's Wendy, and for this Dollar Tree DIY, I'm using one white pool noodle, and I'm going to cut that down into 3 pieces. I made mine 3 different sizes, but you can make them all the same if you want. We're making a sweet little bundle of peppermint sticks, and I know they're usually the same, but since these are going to be laying down, I wanted to be able to see the one in the back also. So I made the stripes with a roll of red duct tape from the Dollar Tree. You can find this in the automotive aisle, and I'm using the full width of my tape on all 3 pieces, and I want them all to be a little bit different. So I made the swirls in different widths. Some of the stripes will be closer together and further apart. And then when I get to the end, I'm just going to cut that off. And then using my craft knife, I cut into my duct tape to make thinner pieces, and I'll just add those stripes right in between the big ones, spacing them out differently so that they each have their own look. And this is super fun, and you can get really creative and make different patterns. So now I'm going to wrap them in the middle with this pretty deer ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I made a perky bow using the fold over method with 3 loops on each side. I cut tiny slits in the middle and used a pipe cleaner to hold it together, and then I'll foof out those loops. I'll also have a video linked where I show how to do some bow making, and it goes into more detail and you can follow along a lot easier. Now I'm going to use this reindeer ornament from the Dollar Tree, and I pulled all the goodies off and painted him black in my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. And after it dried, I brushed on some Mod Podge. Regular white glue would work for this too. And then I just sprinkled on some glittery faux snow to give him some Christmas sparkle. And then while that's drying, I added a black and white perky bow to my big one, and I'll attach that to the top. So then I took some Christmas eucalyptus. I'm going to cut little pieces off of that, and I put about 3 of those together, attached them with a nylon zip tie, and then glued those into both sides, and then I'll attach my little reindeer to the bottom, and it's done. And here it is all finished. This is so easy, but I think it's so adorable and so Christmassy. You're going to be seeing a lot of peppermint in this video, so I hope you like it. I love this, and I hope you like it too. For our next peppermint Dollar Tree DIY, I'm using 2 steering wheel covers, a 14-inch wreath form, an ornament tag, some lights, and an array of red ribbon. This is real life. The hardest part is to get this onto my wreath form, and it's just going to fit the 14-inch wreath forms, so the 12-inch will also work and it'll be a little more gathered, but the larger ones, it won't go all the way around those, so make sure you get 14 inches or smaller. So I'm going to put one on the back side of my wreath form, and then I'll put the other one on the front, and then this way I have fabric on the back side, and you'll see why I need that in just a second. So now I'm going to take my lights, and there's a perfect little pocket to stick your battery pack into, and then just wrap that around all the way around your wreath. It's pretty short, but we're going to be making a big perky bow on the side, so it's okay to have a gap right there. And then when you get to the end of it, take a piece of tape and just attach that to the inside of that ring. So now I'm going to take my red ribbon and just start doing the same thing we did to our pool noodles, except this time to attach them, I'm just using straight pins. You could use hot glue, but I just thought this would be a little more secure. And actually, I was just testing it to see where I wanted my little stripes, and then realized I didn't need to change it. It was going to be more secure anyway. So then I took some of these pom-poms and some candy cane ribbon and just added those all on there. And then I took some red shimmery ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to cut those down into 4 little strips. And then I did the same thing with my candy cane striped ribbon. And these are both from Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to dovetail the edges before we put them together. And then to put these together, we're going to take a strip, pinch it in the middle, and then twist the bottom. Put it in your hand, and then do the same thing with the smaller ribbon. And then on your next level, you're going to do the same thing, pinch and twist, but you're going to put the loop on the other side. And just keep doing that, alternating your ribbons. And then once you have a big handful of Perkiness Beauty, you're going to take your chenille stem and pop it right through the middle and then foof out your loops. And then I have a bin of Perky Bow rejects from other projects, so I'm going to use this white one and attach it to the big one here. And then I'm going to change the sweet little bow on my ornament to match my wreath, and I'll attach all of that loveliness to the side using my extra chenille stem. And then I use some hot glue to keep my tag exactly where I wanted it. So now I'm going to take this adorable little bucket that is from Dollar Tree, but I got this last year, so I don't know if they still have them. But I'm going to mark where I want to attach it to my wreath. So using my Crop-A-Dile, I'm going to poke 2 holes into there and then use a nylon zip tie to attach it to my wreath. And then I can fill it with some sweet goodness for my little kiddos. These aren't real, and Connor was very upset about that. But here it is all finished, and I really love how this turned out. It's so fun and pepperminty, and my grandbabies loved it. They'll like it more when there's real candy canes in there. But I love it, and I hope you guys like it too. For our next Dollar Tree DIY, we're using 6 of the red candles and then 3 different sizes of the white grosgrain ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So the first thing I did was just took off all of the wrappers, and then I'm going to position these. I'm going to stack them one on top of the other, but they're both going in the same direction so that we can still use the candle on the top one. And then I'm just going to take some packing tape and then wrap it around the middle, make that nice and secure, and then do some more wrapping with our ribbon in the different sizes. You guys have seen me do this 100 times now, so I'm not going to make you watch it again. I'll just do the abbreviated version. So you see we're doing the opposite color scheme here. Instead of white with the red wrapping, we're doing the red with the white wrapping, or the swirls. So again, I'm going to wrap that around the middle with this pretty Dollar Tree ribbon, and then I made a sweet little bow, kind of a medium bow, a sweet medium bow, and I'm going to put that on the front of my candles. And then I took some pretty Dollar Tree greenery. These were really pretty. This is the first time I've seen these in the Christmas section, but they're real frosty and look like real pine needles. So anyway, I thought that was a good step up. And then I took another ornament and then just took off the goodies and put on the same greenery that I have on the candles, along with some frosted berries and then a sweet little bow in the white grosgrain ribbon. And then I'll attach that to the middle. And then I didn't like the way I had cut my ribbon at the top, so I decided to add some Mod Podge. Again, you can use white glue here, and then some more of that glittery faux snow at the top to cover all those ickies up. And here it is all finished, and I think this is such a pretty one, and they're nice and tall and look like the real peppermint sticks. I love how this turned out, and I hope you guys like it too. So this is not a Dollar Tree project. Well, it kind of is because the ribbon is from there, but I had to show you guys this. I always used to make our kids' Halloween costumes, mainly just because money was tight, but now that they're all grown, they do it themselves. But I was tasked with making one for our newest little love monkey, Carter James, and I used some hot glue and a scrap piece of white fabric, which was just enough for this little fun-sized nugget. And our daughter Christine wanted to dress him up as our sweet Monsignor Perry from our church. And we don't usually have bald babies in our family, but Carter showed up about a month and some change early. So since he and Monsignor have similar hairstyles right now, she thought this would be the perfect costume for All Hallows Eve, his very first one. So you can see here I'm just adding some fabric, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I figured I could figure it out because I've made so many in my time. But the best thing about this is that there was no sewing involved, and I just looked at a picture of the vestments that a priest can wear at different times. This is not liturgically correct. We're actually in ordinary time right now, so it should be green, but I love the white, and I didn't have any green fabric. But I think it was absolutely spot on. I love it, and Monsignor Perry, I hope you like it too. For this Dollar Tree DIY, we're leveling up our peppermint bundles, and I'm using 3 9-inch glass vases and 3 7-inch glass vases. So the first thing I did was painted the inside of my vases white, and I'm doing it on the inside so that it's nice and smooth on the outside. As you can see here though, I poured my chalk paint inside the vase thinking that it would just run down the sides, but it was a little too thick and my fruit of patience was not all that ripe. So I took my paintbrush and just brushed it down. But anyway, the way I'm coupling these, I'm putting 2 of the 9-inch together, and then a 9-inch and a 7-inch together, and then 2 7-inches together. And the reason I can do that is because the circumference on all of the vases are the same. And then I didn't even wait till they were completely dry before putting them together, just like we did with the red candles. And I'm going to do the same exact thing as I did on the others, just making those pretty red swirls. And I actually added some white ones that had some glitter on the ribbon, and I thought that was really pretty too. And then I'll add my greenery and the sweet big bow on the front. So I know that I get a lot of comments saying I have a small place or I have a big place. You know, different people have different size houses, and the area that they want to decorate is also obviously different sizes. So I tried to make some peppermint sticks in all 3 sizes. So I have the small ones with the pool noodles, the medium-sized ones with the red Dollar Tree candles, and then the larger ones with these vases. And the ribbon that I have here is, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. And I'm always looking for something really tall for my fireplace mantle. This is going to be perfect, and this is my favorite. And then I added some Dollar Tree battery-operated red candles at the top. But I love this, and I hope you guys like it too. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I'm using some ping pong balls, 2 packs of garland, 3 sets of mini lights, and 3 sheets of foam board. So I sketched out a J and a Y on my whiteboard, and then an O on my black piece in chalk so that I could see it. And then I'm going to go back in with my yardstick to make those lines straight and roughly the same thickness for my letters. And then I'm going to use a charger to get a nice curve at the bottom of my J. And then I'll cut my letters out using a sharp craft knife. And I had to keep moving my cutting mat from underneath so that it wouldn't cut into my work surface. But you can do this outside or on the floor. Just make sure you don't slice into anything but the foam board. So then I painted my J and my Y red, and my J did curl up a little bit from the paint, but the Y didn't, and I don't know why. So you could just use red poster board to cover the foam, but it's not really noticeable. You'll see it at the end. So then I attached my garland to my O, and I used wired garland stems to hold them in place. And you see here why I used black for the O, and actually this was all I had, so it just worked out. But if you do make this project, you definitely want to use the black so that there's no white peeking through. So then I made little dots where I wanted my lights to poke through and just used my screwdriver to make those holes. And I have my holy scrap wood underneath so that I don't mess up my work surface. And then I'll poke my lights through those holes from the back. And then to give it that fun marquee look, I made a little slit in my ping pong balls and then popped them onto the bulb. And if there's any writing on the balls, just make that where you do your slice so it doesn't show. And all you're going to do is just push it over the actual bulb and the green socket part at the bottom, and it'll kind of just like click into place. So you don't even have to glue it. It just stays snug as a bug in a rug. And then anywhere where your cord wants to poke out, I just use Scotch tape to hide it behind my letter. And it's the exact same thing for the O, just go right through that greenery and pop them on there. So in keeping with our theme, I wrap my wreath with that peppermint ribbon. And to keep it in place, I just used some packing tape to attach it to the back and made little poofs using those garland stems so it wasn't just completely flat. And then I made another fold over perky bow to add to the top of our wreath. And I told you guys I got this ribbon from Hobby Lobby, but I see a price tag on there now. It's from Ross's, so I totally lied to you guys. So now to attach my bow, I poked a hole through the board at the top and then fed that extra pipe cleaner through there and then twisted it on back. So now I'm going to take some medium-sized Dollar Tree ornaments and I'll glue those onto the spots where I pinched my ribbon together, and then I doubled up on a few of them just to give it some more cuteness. And then finally I added some silver glittery stems from the Dollar Tree and I attached those in the middle with some pipe cleaner also, and then I'll feed that through that same hole as my bow and then it's done. And here it is, all finished. I think this is so fun. And again, anything with lights, be the light. I'm planning to put this on top of my kitchen cupboards, you know, in that like plant rack area at the top. And I might go back now that I'm looking at it and give that green garland a shot or two of that spray white snow to lighten it up just a little bit. I don't know. I'll see how it looks when I get it up there. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed these pepperminty projects. And if you did, don't forget to give them a thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think. If you're not already, I hope you'll consider hitting that subscribe button down below, as well as the little bell right next to it, so that you can be notified every time I upload a brand new video. Remember the reason for the season. I hope everyone has a blessed day, and remember to always be the light. Bye!